All right, thank you guys. We are back in the studio here today, and I just want to welcome you to our NBA video here today for Thursday, June 3rd. My name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. And if you want to see which one of these YouTube picks I'm actually betting on personally here today, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. And despite another down day on my Patreon site, we're still 5-2 in our last 7 extra daily pick tier package plays on that Patreon site. And if you want to access today's extra daily pick, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. We're also 4-2 in our last 6 board member tier package picks on that Patreon page as well. We currently have over 950 members who are signed up and active on that site. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, link for that page is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive into it. Only 2 games here tonight, but very important ones. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to start with the Nuggets taking on the Blazers, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Portland. Now, Denver currently leads this series 3-2. Having said that, though, it's the Blazers who are the 5-point favorite in this one. Totals 227.5. And if you like Denver to win this one outright and advance into the next round, they're plus $170 for some money line cash. And despite the absence of Will Barton here this evening for Denver, I really don't think that should affect them all too much. The Nuggets have played some pretty good basketball on the road this year. They're currently 23-15 straight up when they travel. Now, the Nuggets are also in the top 3 in offensive field goal percentage on the road. Nikola Jokic is scoring over 32 points a game in this very series. 11 boards, 4 assists for the Joker. Now, the big man's also shooting nearly 90% from the stripe in the series. He's also knocking down 42% of his three-pointers. Meanwhile, Michael Porter Jr.'s had himself a pretty nice series as well. 17 points per contest in the postseason, 7 rebounds a game as well. MPJ's drilling 91% of his free throws himself. And speaking of free throws, the Nuggets are in the top 5 in the NBA in shooting from the stripe on the road. And aside from some pretty significant offensive prowess here, Denver's done a pretty nice job on the defensive end of the court as well. They're in the top 3 in road defensive rebounding. They also give up only 109 points a night for the entire season. Now they're taking on a Portland club who's given up 109 points or more in 7 out of their last 9 ball games. And as a matter of fact, shoddy defensive play has really kind of, hurt this team in many of their losses this year. The Blazers are in the bottom 10 in the entire NBA here in points allowed. Bottom 10 in defensive rebounding as well. Now, Portland's also struggled to cover the number at the Moda Center this year. They've gotten the job done against the spread in just 16 out of 38 home games. When it comes to the total in this one, 4 out of this series' 5 games got over the posted number. The Blazers are also 6-3 to the over in their last 9. Meanwhile, Denver's officially 70% to the over in their last 10 themselves. 7-3 to the over in their last 10 meetings with the Blazers. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Denver Nuggets plus 5 and the over 227.5. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Suns versus the Lakers, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Phoenix Suns are up 3-2, and they can advance with a victory here. But similar to the game I just broke down, it's actually the team that's behind in the series who's favored in their respective Game 6. The Lakers are -2 at the Staples Center here this evening. Totals 207. Now, Anthony Davis is still banged up with a groin injury. He's currently listed as questionable for tonight's contest. Meanwhile, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's listed as questionable with knee soreness as well. Now, the Lakers are averaging only 97 points a night in this very series. They certainly have been stifled on the offensive end of the court. And to be honest with you, the Lakers have been one of the worst scoring teams in the league this season. They're in the bottom 10 in scoring on average per contest, bottom 3 in shooting the 3 ball at home. LA's averaging 108 points a game for the entire season, and they're making, only 33% of their three-pointers at the Staples Center. Now, LeBron James is shooting just 39% from beyond the arc in this series. He's also shooting a terrible 58% from the foul line. Meanwhile, Dennis Schroeder shooting just 39% from the field and only 30% from downtown as well. LA is in the bottom 5 in first quarter scoring at home, bottom 5 in fourth quarter scoring as well. They're taking on a Phoenix Suns club who's allowing only 108 points per contest for the entire season. They've certainly been superb on the defensive end of the court this year. The Suns are also in the top 10 in defensive rebounding, top 5 in defending the three ball. Devin Booker, he's dropping over 26 points a game in this series against a very good Laker defense. He's also averaging 5 rebounds and 5 assists a night as well. Now, D-Book's also getting to the line just about 8 times a game, and he's drilling nearly 93% of his free throws in this series. Meanwhile, DeAndre Ayton's really stepped it up in the series as well. He's getting over 17 a night, along with a dozen boards. Certainly a good series for DeAndre Ayton. This Phoenix club is making nearly 50% of their field goals for the entire season. When it comes to the total in this one, not a lot of overs in this series. 4 out of the series' 5 ball games all stayed under the line. The Suns also went 7-3 to the under in their last 10 meetings with the Lakers as well. Meanwhile, LA is currently 48-30 to the under overall for the season. I'm going to lean toward the Phoenix Suns +2 and the under 207. With that, guys, now we're going to jump into our quick pick recap, our very quick pick recap, powered to you by my Patreon website. I like Denver +5 over 227.5, and I like Phoenix +2 and the under 207. Now, if you find yourself really enjoying this video here today, please feel free to give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. And if you're new here today or this week, please feel free to welcome yourself to the Brock Page family by hitting that subscribe button as well. I'd love to connect with you on a daily basis, and I'd love for you to connect with the other subscribers as well, as we have a very active comment section. And speaking of which, now it's time to jump into some shout-outs to our top 10 YouTube commenters over the past couple of days or so. Shout out to Judith Jane, all 10s, Houston Gilliland, A. Freshavelli. Also want to give a shout out to Olmic _ Brandon Wilson, Alex G, Tremaine Jordan, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to my man Blaine Lyons from Shreveport, Louisiana. We got a lot of guys from Shreveport that tune into the channel. I had no idea I was popular in Louisiana, but it does make sense because when I was active on my TikTok account, the only videos that would ever show up were my friends from Louisiana cooking up crawfish. Like every other video, this is how you boil some crawfish. So anyway, makes a lot of sense, I guess. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my Patreon website. Now, if you guys do end up, deciding to get a package here today, just keep in mind Patreon's going to bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a package here today, you're going to get access to that content all the way through the end of June. So certainly very good value signing up early in the month. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.